the way most people in Africa are treating their own mother tongue now is putting those languages in danger. The millennium kids right nowadays cannot even use the language. In Nigeria, I'm not talking about abroad. So we are talking about the fact that people are no longer speaking their mother tongue because mostly we don't normally use it. In fact, when we were growing up, what they normally tell us at our house, at our home is, stop speaking vernacular. Stop speaking vernacular. I get the reason why they were saying that. The reason was because, English was English is the official language being used in Nigeria, and every home wants their children to be able to communicate in English language for whatever reason it might be it political reason, be it economical reason, financial reasons, why people want their children to speak the English language. So, but even though those reasons might be very genuine, discouraging a child from speaking his own mother tongue is extreme. For me, that's the way I see it. It's a bit extreme, don't you think?
Well, it depends on the context.
I just explained the context right now. In most of them, they don't even want you to speak the Yoruba language. They say, stop speaking vernacular. Like, stop speaking it. Communicate in English. Speak in English.
Yeah, I understand the fact that, of course, English is international. So everybody wants their children to speak an international language.
Yeah, that's true. But what I'm saying is that there should be a better way of constructing this thing in such a way that it will not sound to a child like discouragement. Children are very adventurous. They want to explore new things, especially if they have access to tools that can help them. All they need is just a little guide. But if somebody is bullying them to keep quiet from exploring certain aspects of what matters to them, it will affect their self-confidence.
Yes, I guess, of course, it depends on the way it's being told. For me, when I was a child, my dad said, in this house, we don't speak Igbo. When you go to school, you will learn Igbo. I want you to speak English because I want to be sure that you are learning and you are speaking English. But when all through your school years, you will learn Igbo in school. But to me, don't speak Igbo. He speaks Igbo to my mom. They speak Igbo to themselves, but we weren't allowed to speak to him. But then we were supposed to learn in school. So I think in that sense, the demarcation was clear that this is something you will learn. This is something you will learn, but because I want you to be able to use professional and international English language. So I want to hear you speak that international language. So I'm sure that you are, getting it properly or something like that. I think it just depends on the context, the way it's being put to the children. And then I ended up going to a boarding school that were filled with people from different places. There were Yorubas, there were Hausa, there were people from Ghana, Cotonou, and different places. So then it's still the same instruction that we got. The way you are saying it, don't speak vernacular. Why? Because not everybody understands that language. So the preparation is that you are supposed to mix in a society of people that are from international background, different backgrounds. So you don't expect that you are going to speak your mother tongue to them.
So how did that affect it? In like your Igbo, what kind of impact did
It
it
didn't
have?
affect me in any way because I went to school, and then from the moment that we started studying from grade 1, we are already speaking Igbo. We have a subject Igbo, so we are learning the entire process of school. We are learning the Igbo, so it didn't impact me in any way. I feel even more better now that I see it at the end of the day. I'm not living back home.
Okay.
So,
So
and
so
now
how good is your mother tongue?
it's quite good. I'm
Quite
interpreting with
good.
it.
Oh, you are interpreting with it. All
I'm
right.
interpreting with Finnish to Igbo.
Okay. Can you preach in Igbo?
Not necessarily, no.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it will still limit you in certain areas. Like this Yoruba now, I am very good with Yoruba language. When it comes to the academic one, the academic Yoruba, I'm very good. But the usage of it is in Finland that I use Yoruba more than in Nigeria.
Oh.
No, I'm telling you, the way most people in Africa are treating their own mother tongue now is putting those languages in danger.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, people are no longer speaking their mother tongues anymore. What we have now are a bunch of slangs.
But it's international.
Can you explain that? What do you mean by that?
It's everywhere. It's the
All right.
same thing with Finnish now. Typical Finnish, pure Finnish, you can barely hear it on the street anymore. It's mixed now with so much English, so much Swedish. The slangs that the youths are using now, it's something that can be heard of 20 years ago. So it's something that is general. It's everywhere.
So like I was talking about my own home, actually it wasn't even really our parents, so to say, that were saying that. I'm from a big home. My home is big. I have so many brothers. You get the point. Of course, few sisters, but I have a lot of elderly people that are above us. You get the point. And don't stop speaking vernacular mostly comes from them or came from them. So you get the point. So it's more or less, of course, our dad too want us to be able to speak English language. And I can't, like I said, that the reason for that statement, stop speaking vernacular, is a very noble reason. Actually, it's the reason are very noble. It's not that people are hating on their mother tongue and they say, okay, don't speak your mother tongue. No, that wasn't the reason. The reason was very noble. The reason is because they want personal self-development, like in terms of international language, so that when you get to international world, just like you said, now we are no longer in Nigeria.
Exactly.
You get a point. So and we are somewhere else now. Now we can be in the like where people are, and we speak boldly because we understand the language they are using for communication. But at the end of the day, it could also be detrimental to the language, to their mother tongue, because people are no longer speaking it. See, in Nigeria nowadays, they call them Gen Z. The millennium kids right nowadays cannot even use the language. In Nigeria, I'm not talking about abroad.
Yeah, I understand. That's what I was trying to tell you, that it's an international problem. It's an
Yeah.
international problem because the way the children that are growing up now, the way they are mixing languages, it's really rare to find even let's talk about Finland. It's really rare to find people speaking pure Finnish. Now the Finnish that is being used is mixed with a lot of slangs from here and a lot of languages, and it's like the way we have pidgin English. There is pidgin Finnish actually,
No, there is nothing wrong
so
with pidgin language.
no. I mean like the way we have pidgin English. That's the way here.
Yeah, but
The
did
children
they
that are
acknowledge
growing.
this as pidgin Finnish?
No, they don't. They just consider
That is a
it as
problem.
they consider it as it's just the slangs that the youth are using these days. That is the way the youth now speak. That is the way the ones growing up, the Gen Zs as you call them, that's the way they are now speaking. To them, that is their mother tongue.
Yeah,
That,
that's a problem. No, that's one right there is a problem. You know, like if you compare that pidgin Finnish with pidgin English, it's different. The difference is very clear because they have acknowledged that this is a language on its own. The pidgin English is a language on its own right now as we are speaking. It's not pidgin English is not English.
No, it's not.
So I think now that other languages have started following the step of Africans, now we have pidgin Finnish. That one is unbelievable. The reason why I said it's unbelievable is that you know that Salmi is one of the languages being spoken in Finland, the third language to be precise.
There are a particular group that speaks that.
Yeah.
The Samis.
About 500 people speaks it now.
Yeah.
And the percentage, the higher percentage of the speakers are old people.
Yeah.
So Sami is one of the extremely endangered languages right now.
And that's it. That's the same thing, as the youths are growing up, the youths are taking a step in different direction.